What if I told you that one of the greatest names in motorcycle history didn't just fall apart? It was abandoned, fought over, buried, and then brought back to life by a man nobody believed in. Because in 1969, something unbelievable was happening. Half of all large motorcycles sold in the United States carried one name: Triumph motorcycles. The Triumph Bonneville wasn't just popular, it was the machine every rider dreamed about. Inside the Meriden factory, the atmosphere was electric. 3,000 workers, 3 relentless shifts. Engines pouring off the production line every hour of every day. It felt unstoppable, like nothing could ever bring it down. But then just for years later, everything turns. Those same workers don't just protest, they revolt. They chain themselves to the machines they once built with pride. They barricade the factory. They occupy it not for days, not for weeks, but for 18 months. Why? Because somewhere in a boardroom, men in suits have already made the decision: Meriden is finished. And a decade later, they're proven right. The factory is gone, reduced to rubble, the brand itself dragged out of receivership and handed over to a property developer, a man who has never designed, built, or sold a motorcycle in his life. People laugh, some call him a fraud, others think he's completely out of his depth. What nobody realizes is that this man is about to achieve something British manufacturing hasn't seen in over 50 years. But to understand how that happens, you have to go all the way back. Because the story of Triumph doesn't begin with Britain. It begins with a 21-year-old German immigrant named Siegfried Bettmann. In 1884, Bettmann arrives in London with nothing but ambition. No factory, no engineering experience, no industrial backing, just instinct. He starts small, importing bicycles built by William Andrews in Birmingham. 2 years later, he gives his company a name: Triumph. By 1887, he moves operations to Coventry, the beating heart of Britain's bicycle trade. And then, he brings in someone who does understand engineering more: it's Schultz. Together, they stop trading and start building. And Bettmann doesn't just build machines, he builds a life. He becomes so deeply rooted in Coventry that the city elects him mayor. Think about that for a second. A German immigrant running the civic core of an English industrial powerhouse. That's how much trust he earns. And then history intervenes. In 1914, World War I erupts. Triumph motorcycles head straight to the front lines. Over 30,000 Model H machines are shipped to the Western Front. Soldiers nickname them the Trusty Triumph. These bikes don't just serve, they matter. But loyalty in wartime is fragile. As anti-German sentiment spreads across Britain, Bettmann's identity becomes a liability. He's forced to step down as mayor, removed from the company's board. The man who created Triumph, who named it, built it, grew it, is pushed aside. By 1933, even Lloyd's Bank sidelines him. Within months, he's gone completely. Triumph survives. Its founder does not, at least not within the company. The machines keep rolling. The brand keeps moving. And then, in 1936, everything changes again. A man walks through the factory gates who isn't interested in maintaining the status quo. His name is Edward Turner. Brought in by Jack Sangster, Turner takes control. He has one idea: radical, bold, and it's about to reshape the entire industry. In 1937, he reveals the Speed Twin, a 500cc parallel twin engine. In reality, it's revolutionary. While competitors are stuck building heavy single cylinders, Turner's design is lighter, faster, smoother, and it sounds different, sharper, urgent, alive. The Speed Twin doesn't follow the rules, it rewrites them. That engine layout dominates for the next 30 years, and then war returns. On November 14, 1940, the Coventry Blitz devastates the city. The Triumph factory on Priory Street is obliterated in a single night. But the workers dig through the wreckage, rebuild from fragments. And by 1942, a brand new factory rises in a village called Meriden. Step inside that factory in the late 1950s and it overwhelms you. The smell of hot oil and fresh paint. Rows of parallel twins come to life. In 1956, a Texan named Johnny Allen takes a Triumph-powered machine to the Bonneville salt flats. He pushes it to 214 miles per hour. The name sticks. 3 years later, Triumph launches the Bonneville. The fastest production motorcycle in the world, It doesn't just sell, it dominates. Then Hollywood gets involved. Marlon Brando in The Wild One, Steve McQueen in The Great Escape. By the 1960s, Triumph is a symbol, but success hides a problem. The engine is still based on the 1937 design. 5,000 miles away, Honda already has the solution. In 1969, Honda launches the CB750, reliable, electric start. Disc brakes, overnight, British engineering looks outdated. This isn't competition anymore, it's collapse in slow motion. By 1973, Meriden is scheduled to close. The workers revolt. For 18 months, they occupy the factory. They form a cooperative. It's historic and ultimately unsustainable. By 1983, the cooperative collapses. The factory is demolished, history erased. All that remains is the name. And that's when John Bloor steps in, a property developer. People laugh. But Bloor doesn't rush. He studies. He builds a brand new factory in Hinckley. Modern, efficient, funded with his own money. And in 1991, Triumph returns. Today, Triumph produces over 134,000 motorcycles a year. The Bonneville lives on. Meriden is gone, but Hinckley is alive. That same sound Edward Turner created in 1937 is still alive, still moving, still Triumph.